What's good, everybody? It's your brother Mad Black, the most dangerous and most toxic black man on the internet, and I am black up in your face again with some more pro black commentary. So, I want to talk about something that's kind of a pet peeve to me that kind of frustrates me when I see it on social media, and that is when I see these women, especially black women, get on these dating shows, and usually you see it with shows like Kendra G, and these women will be looking for being able to find a date or find a match or something like that. And these women are either pregnant or they just had a child. Okay, it's bad enough if you got a bunch of kids already. I can understand that maybe your kids are older now, and now you're saying, okay, maybe it's time for me to get back into the dating scene. I can at least understand that. But when you got a newborn or the baby is not even gone out yet, it's still in your belly, that means you just got knocked up not too long ago and already you're trying to find somebody else. Already you're trying to go out on a date and find yourself a man. Sit your butt down somewhere. Go sit down somewhere. It is not time for that. When you have a child, it's time to start taking care of that child. Okay? It's not about you at this point and your quest for loving or whatever you think you're doing out there. Okay? Some of you act like your coochie's gonna fall off if you're not using it every 2 months. Just sit down and relax and take care of the child. That child is going to encompass all of your time. Okay, I'm positive of that. I know because I have one. All right. So, you know, take care of that child. That's where all your time and energy should be going to, not trying to run out there and find a new mate and calling up these dating shows. In my opinion, people like Kendra G should hang up the phone when she sees that the girl is pregnant or has a newborn. All right? If you have a newborn or you're pregnant, just cut the phone off and say, okay, next person. There's a legitimate person out there who needs to find a mate, not someone who is obviously confused about how dating is supposed to go. And then they always got an excuse as to why they're not with the father of this child. Oh, he's doing this, and I thought he was going to be the one, and we just decided to have a kid. It's like all this confusing nonsense. This is why you do not need to be dating. You need to sit down and figure yourself out. Because obviously you haven't figured that out. If you haven't figured out that you just shouldn't be popping out children for any old body and giving up your womb to just any old body, because that's what you're doing, no matter what kind of excuses you make, you're just giving your womb up to any old body and pushing out their baby. Now you're in this precarious situation where he can run off and go find someone else. So now you want to go run off and find someone else. And that's just not how life is not working. I was going to say that's not how life works, but it's not working because you go out and live, you make the same mistakes over and over again. Then you wind up having the whole multiple baby daddy thing, which really looks bad on you. That makes you just look completely confused and fickle about how you choose the people you're going to have children with. Okay, having children is not a game. Okay, I know it seems fun at the time, but that's not a game. There's a lot of responsibility involved in that. You're raising the next generation. This is a very special gift that you've been given here. Okay, that's a very special gift that you've been given to raise the next generation and to be able to produce a child within your body. And it should not just be some willy nilly thing where you're just reproducing like an animal or like some insects do. Like, certain animals, they just reproduce every season, every year. They have a season where they mate and just produce children. That's not how it's supposed to be for human beings, okay? You're not supposed to just get in heat and reproduce and then go on to the next mate or whatever later on. That's not how things are supposed to work because there's so much complexities going on in human society. The society is not going to continue to work if you just keep doing that. If you're just a continuous baby maker who's just pushing them out over and over again, okay? And you derelict Negroes who keep procreating with these females, you're just as bad as they are. Okay? You see she's got 3 kids already. What you sticking your thing in there for? Just because you think it's easy access? You know when you see that she already has 3 and 4 kids that she's not going to make you wear a condom. You know right from the get go you're not going to have to use protection or nothing. You don't care who's run up in it. You don't care if you're going to have a paternity battle with you and another man later on. You just run in there, stick it in, and want them having another child somewhere. So you dirty dick Negroes, you're part of the problem too. But I'm focusing on the ladies in this because, like I said, they're the ones running out there asking to date somebody else after the fact. All right? Once you have that child, it's time to take care of your child. That's a lot of work. I only have the one, and it was a lot when she was a baby. Staying up all night, and then when she turned 2, me going back to like a full-time job because before I was just doing part-time from when she was first born till she turned 2. So going even when she was a toddler, just going back to a full-time job. I was thinking today of an incident where there was an accident at work, so I was expecting to come home, take my daughter to daycare, and then go back to work and clean up some of the stuff that had happened at the accident. I didn't cause the accident, but it had happened with the delivery truck. So we were all pitching to help, and I said, "Listen, guys, I got to go home. I got to help out, take my daughter to daycare, and then I'll be right back to help out." Okay, but then I come home, and unbeknownst to me, my daughter was sick overnight. She got sick and was spitting up or throwing up or whatever. So then my wife, she didn't get any sleep either because that was going on during the nighttime. I worked third shift. So my wife says, I'll take her to the doctor. You go back to work. And I went and completed what I did. And I came back and checked on them. And then I finally got to get some sleep because once again, working third shift, you don't sleep very much. But that's like the weird situations that can come up when you have a child. So I don't know. Dating is not in any was not in any part of that situation. Okay, and I'm married, obviously, but trying to have just some personal time with me and my wife, that was hard to come by with that child there. So I don't see where you single ladies even have time to be wanting to bring some new man into that situation. Isn't it hard enough just raising that child, feeding the child every day, and uh, pouring some education into that child? Because I didn't wait till my daughter went to school. We were trying to pour education into her beforehand, teaching her stuff, how to read, how to write. Isn't there more to what you need to be doing at this point than running out there to find another man? It's obvious that you don't have any control of your womb or what you should be doing. So why are you even wasting your time doing that? It's a waste of time basically and just going to create more problems if you run out there going to date. You need to sit back, sit down, take care of your child, think about what you want to do in life and what you want to accomplish and get yourself in order as far as like rebuilding your self-esteem, because obviously you have none, just letting every guy run up in you. And think about what you want to accomplish and what you want for your children. That's what you need to be thinking about at this point. Okay, things should be totally different at this point once you have a child. You don't need to be running out to the club. I saw one girl. She has a 1-year-old and she went on a vacation. How do you even do that when you're a single mom? Does someone sit there and take care of this 1-year-old? I'd be damned. Now, if I'm in a relationship, if I'm married to my wife or whatever, and we have a 1-year-old, she talks about I'm going to go take a vacation and go out to the Caribbean somewhere. I'm like, oh hell no, no you're not. You're going to stay here with me and take care of this baby, and vice versa. Of course, I'm not going to do that. Now, if traveling for work, that's one thing, but just going on some vacation somewhere when you got a baby at home, no. If we can't take the baby with us, then we're not going. Okay. And like I said, the girl that I saw, she had a 1-year-old at home, took a vacation, and she's on social media shaking her booty. It's like, that's not what you're supposed to be doing when you got a child at home. Yeah, so take care of those babies, man. That's the most important thing. That's what you should be worried about at this point. Not trying to run out there and go to the club or go on vacation and twerking and hanging out with your girls or whatever. Take care of your children. 'Cause like I said, that's important. That's the most important thing, the next generation. If you didn't want that responsibility, you shouldn't have had them in the first place. Okay? If that's, you're making a deliberate choice when you decide to have that child. I think some women think that they can have the child and just leave it somewhere and they can have it all. They can still go and party and do all this stuff. That's not how life works. You have that child, that's your responsibility and that's your everything. Okay? You need to stay there and take care of it. And that goes double for the men out there. You need to take care of your children, fellas. Don't just be making babies and not taking responsibility for it. All right? So, you folks let me know how you feel about it in the comments section. I'd like to hear what you have to say. Anyway, this is Mad Black, and I will be back with my foot on these devils' back.